Hello.
I feel as if like you're not open to it. Like, you know, what would, say for example, right? Say for example,
Right.
if someone said to you, if John next door, our next door neighbours, and they said to us, look, you know, it's been proved that if you shed your clothes and come into this room with us and we all look at each other's private parts and we all just let our emotions just ease out of us.
Yes.
And it's been proved that it's going to make everything in life so much easier. You wouldn't be willing to give that a try?
It's just like, I don't know, would you actually...
You're old-fashioned.
No, I just think, do you know what? I don't need to see my next door neighbour's crotch. I really don't. It's just like, I can imagine what it's like, and there you go. Hello.
Daddy, I love him.
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. Put my teeth in. Ooh. I'm Liz.
I thought you had a fly in your mouth or something for a minute then. And I'm Brian.
And
good start.
Today we Today we bring you this podcast. What are you looking at my head for?
I was looking at the sun behind you because we're outside, aren't we?
We are outside.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, if that sun creeps round anymore, it's going to start burning the top of your head.
Make my head look ginger.
Yeah, I might have to get up and move the umbrella.
We're bringing you this podcast from outside in our back garden in New Zealand. It's such a gorgeous day. It's a Monday, and we thought, you know what? I just can't sit inside and record it.
No, because it's not windy today, really, is it?
No.
So, you know, we can bring the big mics outside.
So if you are watching or listening on YouTube, you've got the pleasure of being able to see us outside in our garden. And what I was going to say was, this is how my intro was going to go, right? Pretend we're doing it again. Like, hello, welcome to It's a Drama Podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we bring you this episode feeling very, very chilled. That's what I wanted to say, but it didn't come out because I bit my tongue and then it all went wrong. And the reason I'm feeling very chilled is because... this episode is all about, well, alternative therapies, Brian, because I've been to one.
Have you got an alternative therapy? Every time I start the podcast, I get an itchy nose. What's that all about?
I've got an alternative therapy podcast to share with you because it was my birthday last week. And for my birthday, I did something that I've been dying to do for so long. I can't believe that I have never done it. Well, I can believe because I was too scared to do it. But I did it on my birthday and it was just the best thing I've ever tried in my whole life. What's wrong?
Nothing. Okay,
Why are you laughing?
I was going to do a smutty remark,
No,
but I
don't
thought,
bother. Don't bother because there's no smut in this show.
No, there is no.
No, this is a special therapy show today about how... No.
I'll give you a bit of therapy.
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah. So what I did was I went and did flotation therapy.
What is that, like a bit of helium and floating off on a piece of string?
Okay. Stop the show. Stop the show a minute. So just hold on. Right, I just need to tell you something because no. Before we get, what are we in? 2 minutes and 47 seconds in, and already, Bri, you're annoying me because this show is all planned out to be serious. There is a little bit of sexual stuff coming up because, you know, I'll share that with you in a little while. But that's not to say that we can't talk about sexual therapy and things like that without being flipping. How's your father? Let's have a bit of smut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, better carry on.
So let's just keep this adult and classy. I want to say classy, Brian. All right, that's the theme I'm going for today.
Right.
I'm going alternative, out there, open-minded, beautiful, calm, classy. Right? Not your smut and stupid
silly
remarks.
billiness.
Yes, right.
Well, you shouldn't have married a tradie, eh?
So. This is flotation water therapy. And how this came about was we went down the cafe last week, didn't we? Because it was my birthday. And there was a guy down there and he asked us, he owns the shop next door, a really lovely guy. And he said, oh, what are you doing for your birthday, Liz? And I said, oh, you know, what we were doing. I said, well, you know, I'm going for some lunch and might go to the cinema. And it was a little bit boring, really, wasn't it, what we had planned? Yeah,
I planned it all, thanks.
I know. Yeah. It was nothing special, was it, Brian?
Not really.
And he looked at us as if like, well, you're a pair of saddos, if that's all you're doing on Liz's birthday.
Yeah, you're not on the same level as me, eh?
No. And he said, can I suggest something? And because I'm an open-minded person, I said, certainly. What would you like to suggest? He said, can I suggest that you try water therapy for stress? Because he knows I'm stressed because of everything.
Everything going on.
Yeah, and he suggested it. And I just went home, got it up on the website. It's called the Flotation Sanctuary in New Plymouth, the city where we live in New Zealand. And I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to book it. And lo and behold, they had a space available right there.
You were lucky, weren't you?
That afternoon.
That's what she said.
Yeah. She said, you're lucky because you've got a space.
Yeah.
And I went in. I spent 2.5 hours of absolute bliss. I've got to make sure I say this.
Yeah.
The Flotation Sanctuary in New Plymouth, not sponsored or anything. I just want you to know that they're amazing. And it was just an eye-opening, wonderful experience. There you go.
All of it?
Yes.
The whole experience was wonderful? Or was it just the flotation that was good?
Well, I did a package. And I did like a compressed suit thing where you put on this suit and it compresses you and like massages you.
Yeah.
And then I did the sauna, which I'm not a sauna person, infrared sauna. But no, what I want to concentrate today on, I think what I want to talk about, because what we're going to talk about on the show, I'm going to give you 4 other alternative therapies. Don't look at my notes. Don't look.
Oh, he's having a quick...
No, don't.
Quick goosey.
I'm going to give you 4 others of things that people do to relieve stress that you'd just be thinking, God, that's weird.
Right.
And then later on in the show, we're going to read some reviews from last week from people, Vietnam and Italy, Sicily,
Yep.
people who have been to really posh places. Remember last week we were talking about,
the reviews on going to like, what was it like?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
And did you get what you paid for? And
Yeah.
we got some fantastic feedback from last week's episode. And I just want to read 2 of the best of the feedback that we got. So yeah, going to be doing that.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
flotation.
can hear the birds in the background, can you?
I know. It's nice, isn't it?
That's a nice relaxation
It
for
is,
free,
right?
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So flotation therapy.
So flotation therapy, Liz. So you didn't particularly like the compression pants. You did say that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But flotation therapy, what was it like?
Okay, so the first
Or
thing...
what is it?
Yeah, all right, that's a good question. Well done, Brian, for
There we go, Liz. See,
avoiding the negative route that I could see you were going down.
I wasn't going to go down the negative
Well, you
route
were,
at all. No, I
because you
wasn't.
wanted me to talk about the compression pants and how much they hurt my calves, because I've got bulbous calves. But I'm not going to go down that route. I'm going to talk about the beautifulness of the flotation therapy. So for a start, I always thought that a flotation therapy tank, so it's where you are submerged in water. Well, you're floating. Is that the right word?
Yes,
Submerged.
you are. What it says, if you're submerged, you're not really floating. You're kind of floating, but at a certain level,
Right?
A bit like a submarine. You know that it does float still, but it's under the water, isn't it?
You're put into a tank of water that is filled with masses and masses of Epsom salts,
Yep.
and because of that, like the Dead Sea.
Yep.
You know, like how you float on the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
Well, imagine the Dead Sea, but just in a tank.
Yeah.
And you go in, and the thing that I was turned on about it, the thing that really stuck out to me is, I can't remember how they described it, but it's like turning off all your other senses. So you're not allowed, there's nothing to hear.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing to hear, there's nothing to see, and there's nothing to touch because you're floating. There you go. The 3 of those senses that are going to be taken away from you for an hour while you float in the dark, in silence, with only your mind. That's what you're paying for. And I'm not joking, I would have paid $1 million if I'd had it.
Really?
For the feeling I had when I came out. Anyway, so going back to your question, what was your question? What is it?
Yeah, because, when you used to watch films from years ago, like black and white films, I always remember this one thing where they put this guy in a tank and it was almost like to see if they could brainwash him type thing, like, and it was like cold and he's in a rubber suit and stuff, but it's just almost like that isolation, as if like, what's going to happen to you? Like, you're going to go loopy or mad or something like that. And I think that's what a lot of people think. It's cold and it's going to be like, you're going to be immersed under a tank with an oxygen mask on or something like that,
Because you remember Michael Jackson, he used to talk about, they used to have that weird thing about Michael Jackson, and you'd see all these pictures, wouldn't you? Michael Jackson would go in this tank with oxygen.
Oh, I think that was an oxygen tent.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was going to be like.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be
cryo
trapped.
chamber.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be trapped in like a coffin-like tank that was filled with water. This is what I imagined. With your face just like only barely touching the roof of the tank. So you were like almost suffocating.
Yes.
But you weren't suffocating because you were floating and there was air. But I just thought, oh God, no. I would never like to be trapped in a tank with a load of water.
I know, and that's what it seems like, doesn't it? That's what people do imagine. I'll get claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, yeah.
So I'm just here to tell you, for a fact, spit your words out.
Granville.
Flotation. It's flipping brilliant. Right, I'm here to tell you that for a start, it's not a tank, which really surprised me. It's like this massive, imagine a jacuzzi.
Yeah,
right?
a hot tub.
Yeah,
Jacuzzi,
a hot tub jacuzzi. You did it. You said it word like a big clam.
Big clamshell type thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you climb in, and the roof is like a dome for a start. So you can't touch the top of the roof. When you're in it, you can't touch the top of the roof.
Is it see-through or is it like black?
It's fiberglass.
Right.
So it's not see-through, but it's not black. It's like a
Whatever
white
colour
colour.
it is. Right,
yeah.
okay, right.
And they project like lights onto it. Like, and this one, it had
What,
like...
from outside or inside?
No, it's like inside is like these little LED lights, like a
Right.
hot tub.
Yeah.
You know, when you get in a hot tub and it's got little lights. And you get in and all the lights are on the ceiling. So you get in, you feel completely safe. You know, it's got all lights on it. There's music being piped through the speaker on somewhere in this room. It's a beautiful room. It's like going into a really nice spa.
Right, okay.
I'll tell you how much it was at the end. And you go in and you climb in and the water is only this deep, Bri. How deep is that for people listening on the...
That's about a foot.
Yeah.
12 inches or
Yeah.
30
It's not very
30
deep
centimetres.
at all. But so you climb in, so you get undressed, you climb in and you slide in. And literally as soon as you get into this massive big clam, so the roof is open.
Yeah.
There's a big handle on it that you can pull down or you can leave it up. It's up to you.
Right.
You don't have to pull the lid down if you
Okay.
don't want to. And then you climb in
Yeah.
and you immediately just start floating on this water.
Right, so you're floating in 12 inches of water. So
Well,
is it...
it's about that deep.
All right, so it's
however.
about 18 inches maybe.
Yeah,
then.
maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Okay.
It's not drownable. That's what I want to say. It's not like you're going in a big, deep, massive swimming pool that you think, oh my God,
Yeah,
what
it's
if I
not like
suddenly
a hot
started
tub
stop
depth.
floating?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not a hot tub depth.
Okay.
No.
Well, we're definitely outside.
Yeah, that's why
aren't
we don't go outside, isn't it? It's nice though. Go on. So what was your other question?
So how far under the water do you go?
All your body halfway. Sorry. So you know when you float. Imagine when you float in the sea.
Yeah.
And you can keep yourself afloat
Yeah,
by
you
going
like
like
fill
this
your
with
lungs
your
up and you can just relax.
It's
and-
like that. It's
Yeah,
just like my boobs were out, kind of thing. Sorry to be so, but yeah, my boobs were out, my belly was out, but my bum and my back and my shoulders and the back of my head and my ears
Yeah.
were all in the water. So yeah, you're like bobbing on the water.
Yeah, so gravity's not affecting you. Don't feel any compression on it. Your bum's not touching the floor or something like that. At
you
the
can't
bottom
touch
of
the floor.
tank.
No,
Okay.
And then you pull the lid down, and after 5 minutes, it gives you 5 minutes to just settle down and just get yourself sorted, and just you put your arms like this. You put your arms above your head,
Right.
and that feels really weird at first, but then when you do, you just start floating even better.
Right. Is that what they tell you to do?
Yeah, the
right.
lady told me to do that because she said you can put your arms to your side. She said you can put them wherever you want. You can put them across your chest, down to the side, wherever. She said, but I find if you put them above your head, it just gives you that lovelier feeling. And she was right. She was spot on because I tried all different positions and it just felt really nice. And then after 5 minutes, it says the lights are now going to dim and the music is going to turn off because it's like going ding, ding, ding.
Right,
ding,
okay.
like this.
Yeah.
And then the lights start to dim. I'd already pulled the lid down at this stage.
Oh, right. So you're inside.
I was in it. I was in the thing just floating and then the lights go off and it is pitch black.
Right.
Absolutely pitch black. The water, by the way,
Yeah.
is warm. It's body temperature warm.
Right. Body temperature. And is there any, like with the lid closed, is there any ventilation coming in or is it just like...
I would imagine so because it doesn't go and suck closed.
Right.
It's like just putting the lid on, just lifting the lid down sort of
Right.
thing. But I would imagine you can still have a little air gap around it.
Right. And is the water filtered? Is it moving or is it still?
It's still.
Right.
And she said to me, be really careful. She said, try not to like itch your face or touch your face. She said, because you'll disrupt the stillness of the water and the whole idea. And this is just the most bizarre thing because you're laying there and it feels like you're in concrete, but you're floating.
Right.
It feels like you don't want to move because you're trying to set concrete. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah. And just the fact that you can't see anything and you can't hear anything. All you can hear is the blood in your
In your
head.
ears, sort of thing, like the. Whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah. And then that calms down, and all of a sudden it's just quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just surreal. It was just. She said to me, if you have got a lot of stress, or if you've got a problem that you're trying to think through, or if you're an artist or a creative that's got an idea that they want to run past themselves, she said you will slip into your conscious state of being. You know
Right.
that state of being that you are just about to fall asleep. So you're not asleep, but you're not awake, and it's that beautiful dream-like,
the in-betweeny.
in-betweeny thing. And that apparently that's when all your best ideas come, and that's when all you just everything just is wonderful and calm, and that's what you slip into.
Right. That sounds like Brand Hatch, doesn't it, when we're talking about relaxation therapy?
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't recommend it highly enough. It was just, I came out of there and I just felt so centered and so calm. And here's the thing, this is the best part of all. That night when I went to bed, bearing in mind everything that's going on in life and everything like that, I can honestly say I have never ever in my whole life, my whole 53 years, slept as well as I did that night.
You did sleep really well, didn't you? Yeah.
I slept like a flipping baby. It was just, it was gorgeous. It was just like someone just giving me magic dust of like, right, okay, Liz, you're going to sleep so well. And like I say, with everything that's going on at the moment, you'd think that it would be hard to have a good night's sleep, but that was the magic ticket. It was just...
Do you think it was the relaxation or the salts or the... Because a lot of magnesium in that stuff, isn't there? Like, apparently.
Yeah.
Really
And that's what the
salty.
lady said.
Yeah.
She said, she said, she said to me, do you sleep well? And I said, okay. I said, not too bad. Better than I did now because I'm on HRT now. So before I went on HRT, I never used to sleep. And I said, a lot better than I do. And she said, you might find that, you're lacking magnesium. She said, so you're going to get a big dose of magnesium because you're floating in magnesium salts.
Yeah.
So...
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just, so happy with it.
Did you actually have a little, when you were in there, did you have like a little light bulb moment, or did you have like did you find something in yourself?
Not really.
No?
I wish I could say I did. I just was very, very, very relaxed. And what I was trying really, really hard to do is just imagine really beautiful scenarios of things that we were going to be doing.
Right.
So like going on beautiful, I know that you want to buy a convertible and drive around Europe and things like that. And I was imagining us in this convertible driving around Europe. And I was imagining us, in Greece with the kids again. And I was just imagining, all these lovely things that I was imagining.
Yeah.
I was just laying there imagining them.
Right.
And it was just like a wash of positive, calming loveliness. I don't know. I just think I'm trying to work out like if you would like it or not. Like if you would like to be alone with your thoughts like that and how you would react to it.
Do you know, until I give it a go, I wouldn't know. I'm not frightened of anything like that. That to me sounds like it's going to be a nice, relaxing hour or two, because that state, which is, the state that you talk about is like when you drift off to sleep, is like, when you get an old fart like me, you when you go to the beach and you got your little deck chair, and ours are ones that go right back and you can put your feet up sort of thing, and you're under your umbrella. And you're in that state of awake and asleep and awake and asleep, and you can hear things going on, which makes you feel kind of just safe, and you're in a nice spot. And it's just it's almost like you're on drugs. I'm not that I've ever been into drugs, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It's that.
Don't lie, you're right, druggie.
I know.
We're always popping your pills.
Yeah, that's it. But it's that state that it's amazing, because you start listening to yourself and you think, oh, I'm actually going to go to sleep here, but it's just. I imagine dragging that out a bit longer would be good.
So it costs $150 for a 2.5 hour session. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah, because I had half an hour compressing suit, half an hour in the sauna, and 90 minutes for the whole flotation and shower, and 2.5 hours of pure bliss for £75.
Yeah.
150 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, which is about $100 US, isn't it? Ish.
It was flipping brilliant. So a massive, massive shout out to the Flotation Sanctuary in New Plymouth. If ever you're down here, I can give you a 5-star recommendation to go and just try out that place.
Yeah.
I can't wait to book it for you, Brian. No, I can't.
It's July 14th, don't forget.
I know, I can't. Yeah.
Middle of winter though.
So what I thought would be a good idea, Bri, is to just try out, I was going to share with you, because I've done my research, and I was just going to share with you 4 other, I don't want to say weird, but let's say alternative therapy things that people go and have.
Right.
Right?
And I've got no idea what these are, eh?
No, I know.
No.
Okay, you're nice and relaxed.
I'm ready, Liz.
Yeah. So
fire away.
you are here because you love New Zealand.
You might be moving to New Zealand.
Living in New Zealand, or you might just spend your days dreaming of visiting this gorgeous country. Because we love New Zealand as much as you do, we have compiled a short and very unique 5-day video series showcasing life in New Zealand, what it's really like. These videos are real, they are exclusive, and best of all, they're absolutely free. So if you would like to view New Zealand from the inside out and find out what life is really like down here, sign up now, and every day for 5 days we will send you a personal 3-minute video showcasing some brilliant aspect of life in New Zealand. You are gonna love it. Go to www.itsadrama.com/ILoveNZ. We can't wait to share those videos with you. Okay, let's get back on with the show.
I'm ready, Liz.
Yeah. So
fire away.
the number one thing that people do is called nude physiotherapy.
Well, you were nude in the flotation tank,
No,
weren't
I
you?
know, but I was on my own.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. They said, "Oh, you can do a couples one if you want." I thought, "No, thanks."
What, with other couples?
No,
mean?
you.
Oh, right.
No.
Can you get 2 people in there?
Yeah.
Oh, could you?
No,
oh, right.
it would be a bigger tank.
Oh, right.
But I can't think of anything worse. And I don't mean this by any...
No.
I'm sorry to be rude, Brian. I don't want to, upset you here or anything.
Yeah, I would
But-
have a shower before we went in.
No,
though.
I can't think of anything worse than thinking, I want to go and have a lovely relaxation therapy, water therapy thing, and having you next to me.
Yeah.
Thinking I've got to talk to you, you might talk to me. I just don't want to look over and see you, Brian. I just want to be on my own.
Yeah. Did you ever get... when you're in bed, Liz, and you wake yourself up snoring, did you get that in the flotation tank?
No, because I didn't fall asleep. Imagine that.
Or was that you?
Yeah, nose full of Epsom salts. So nude physiotherapy.
Right.
So this was practiced by liberal activists in the 1960s, and now it is a reformed group in the Human Awareness Institute in California. They're all doing it in California. No, they're just doing it. And why people do this is to move beyond social expectations created by clothing and things like that,
Yeah.
So it's true, isn't it? Because clothing do restrict you. So these people, they shed their clothes and they explore their repressed thoughts.
Okay.
And this is very serious.
Right.
And they want to get to a stage of self-actualization. And the way they do this, certain activities... And I know you're going to poo-pah this, so try and be serious.
I'm not.
They like to deeply gaze into their partner's eyes. So like if me and you went for it, we would be naked.
Okay.
And I would just be deeply gazing into your eyes. Or you can scrutinize each other's genitals.
Okay.
And
what with? Microscope?
This exercise is called crotch eyeballing.
Oh, right.
Oh, what do you think of that?
I just think you just need to get over yourself. Jeez.
Who needs to get over themselves? What?
Those people.
Why?
What's going on in their head that they have to think that they've got to do that?
Oh, see, this is why I don't think you're open-minded.
No,
I knew you'd say something like this.
It's not open-minded. It's just about what's going on in your mind that you've got to a point where you've got all this repression in your head, and that you then think, I know what will work for me is to stare at someone's crotch.
No, stare at my crotch.
Well, stare at someone's crotch for a wee while and think, that repression's moving, it's lifting. Really?
I wonder if it actually, do you know what? I don't know if it is just staring at your partner's crotch. I think it's staring at other people's crotch.
That comes back to the old 10 Commandments, doesn't it? Eh? Don't covet thy neighbour's wife.
No, thing is, Bri, I think, and just kind of do a little, what's it called when you do a disclaimer thing? We're not laughing at you if you do this stuff.
I don't care what people
do. You want, it's just, we're just discussing it. So, and also just to say as well that these things, just look into it before you do it. What's that word? Don't take our word for it. This is just our opinion. But yeah, I would like to try something like that, but I feel as if I would. Stop laughing before I've even finished.
I haven't.
You are.
Okay, carry on.
I would like to try something like this, but I feel as if now I've done my water flotation.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm a new woman. Honestly, I just feel like I can do anything now. I do.
Well, the thing is, it's not. We've done nude bathing on the beach. We have, haven't we? And people fully dressed walking past us and everything. There, you just sitting there or laying there with everything hanging out, and it's just like, what have you on for luck? There it is, mate. Good luck. But maybe,
God, Brian.
No, maybe I did all my crotch staring back then.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this. I'm getting the feeling that you're a little bit stiff and a little bit uptight.
Steady.
So moving on anyway. So next smutty. Let's leave that.
You started this smut.
No, I didn't. I just mean that I just feel as if like you're not open to it. Like, you know, what would say for example, right?
Yeah.
Say for example,
right.
If someone said to you, if John next door, our next door neighbours, and they said to us,
got a nasty cough at the moment,
and they said to us, look, you know, it's been proved that if you shed your clothes and come into this room with us, and we all look at each other's private parts, and we all just let our emotions just ease out of us.
Yeah.
And it's been proved that it's going to make everything in life so much easier. You wouldn't be willing to give that a try?
Well, I think the next step is to go around and smell everyone's crotch, just like
Brian,
dogs do.
shut
You
up.
know, it's just like, I don't know, would you actually...
You're old-fashioned.
No, I just think, do you know what? I don't need to see my next door neighbour's crotch. I really don't. It's just like, I can imagine what it's like, and there you go. That's enough.
Right, I'm moving on. Right, number 2, alternative therapy is bee venom therapy. Mm-hmm. And this treatment uses honeybee venom, and it's based on the long-known fact that beekeepers who get stung a lot very rarely develop arthritis or problems with their joints or muscles.
All right.
So what you do is you go along and you get to the area that you're being affected by, and you let a bee sting you. And
poor little bee, he's going to die.
Apparently, this method has been used by the Chinese for over 3,000 years, and they claim that the stings have anti-inflammatory properties.
Well, you swell up pretty much, don't you? So maybe it's the big swell first, which then maybe you know, opens up.
That would be scary, wouldn't it, Brian?
Do you know, I've seen videos of people when, you know, there's a lot of like religious people do these things, you know, and it's like, you know, you're going to cure blindness and stuff. And this guy was getting stung all over his face, like, you know, to try and cure his blindness. It didn't work, but you just think, oh, well, I suppose you try anything, wouldn't you?
I was going to say, yeah, you would try anything.
Yeah,
but this isn't, but if you just had arthritis, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't think I would mind having it done. I think I'd give it a go. Would you give it a go? If someone said
these
to
things
you,
are quite nasty, aren't they? I mean, some people really react in different ways, but you know, I mean, they have to get the bee and literally put it into you, and then pull the bee to pull on. It pulls all its stomach out, doesn't it? Like, you know,
I don't know.
Well, it does. The bee dies after that, so it's not like a wasp.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't know if the bee does die. I don't know.
It does.
Oh, right, okay. You know that for a fact, do you?
Yeah, 100%. If it stings you, that's the only way it can release the venom, is that it literally pulls the whole stomach out. Yeah.
Oh, well, so that's another one then. So if you had arthritis, you're also saying, so as well as not doing the nude, you would also not do the bee, because now you've got this thing in your head that you care about bees so much. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't want to do that. I would do it, but I don't want to.
Suicide
because,
bees.
Yeah, we don't want to harm the bees. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not about harming the bees, because...
that's the reason you just gave me. So what's the other reason you wouldn't do it? Because you're scared of bees?
No, I'm not scared of bees. It's just I don't know, it seems to be like a real long way round about to get to what's the problem here.
Well, I don't think it is. If you've got arthritis and you get stung by a bee, it's going to stop the arthritis.
What, all over your body or just in that joint?
Well, no, say if you had arthritis in your thumb.
Yeah.
And, you know, or your wrist.
Yeah.
And you go in and they let the bee out and they sting you.
Yeah.
And then the arthritis would go.
So how many bees do? What do you think they do?
I don't know.
Is it like just one sting? Because I mean, I know a good bee sting will last about a week, as in it gets pretty itchy, doesn't it? Like, you know. So I just think, yeah.
Well, what do you think? You haven't said.
Well, I think there's other things for arthritis that you can do besides bees.
Okay, so it's a no for you then, is it?
It would be a no for me.
Okay,
on that.
a no for you.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to say yes.
You say yes. Yeah.
If I was in pain and someone said to me, if you let this happen, I'm not scared of bees, so that wouldn't.
No.
If it was a rat, then that would be a different thing. But if someone said, I'm going to let this bee sting you, and after that your pain will go away. I mean, I know it wouldn't be instant. You'd have to have a load of sessions. But yeah, I'd be up for it. I'd be up
Do you
for
know,
it.
if there was nothing else, then yes, I would say yes. But I think there's plenty of things for arthritis these days with even just down to magnets and stuff, isn't there? Or copper or whatever it is that you're supposed to
Okay, so it's a
do on
no
it.
for you then.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Number 3, alternative therapy. I don't know why
I'm not
we're
very
go-
alternative, am I?
I don't think you are. And you're wringing your hands. Look, I'm worried about you. 'cause
Yeah,
you-
no, it's
see, that
just-
says to me you're anxious. You don't
Because
want
I
to
don't know what's
open
coming up, Liz. That's
Take
why.
your clothes off.
I will. I have done.
Number 3, sexual surrogacy therapy.
Sexual
Sexual surrogacy therapy.
surrogacy.
And this is where your therapist looks deeply into your eyes,
Yeah.
holds your hand,
Yeah.
and kisses you passionately
Your therapist.
on the
Oh,
lips.
All right, John.
Now listen, listen. This isn't I'm reading this. This isn't a violation of the American Psychological Association's Code of Ethics.
Yeah.
Kissing, and sometimes even more, is just part of the job as a sexual surrogate. Sexual surrogates are trained professionals that work with sex therapists to help people work through intimacy issues. And surrogacy goes beyond regular talk therapy. It includes activities to model appropriate, romantic, and sexual relationships.
Yeah.
It says the focus is not on pleasure, but on learning what appropriate sexual or relationship behaviour feels like. So what I'm guessing, right, this is what I think.
Yeah.
If you're thinking like, I want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and I don't know, how do I kiss them? Do I go full on, or what do I do? And like, when do I kiss them?
Can I just rewind a little bit?
No, hang on, let me finish.
Okay.
Look, you're always saying to me about interrupting, and so you think, no, I've lost my no, and you think, I don't know how to behave, and like, how is it all going to work out? So you go and see a therapist,
Yeah.
and you say to the therapist, like I've just told you, I don't know, and they say, come here. We give you a big kiss. Now, I'm not poo-pahing it, but it's like, and the therapist would kiss you,
Yeah.
and they would say,
What would the surrogate kiss you or the therapist?
well, they are the therapist.
Oh, I thought they were like one or the other.
No, the surrogate. Surrogacy, sexual surrogacy therapy. So it means the therapist is acting as your a surrogate sexual partner. Is that right?
Yeah, but I thought they said they worked with them.
No,
Worked
they're
with sex
sexual surrogates who are trained professionals
Oh, right.
that work with sex therapists. So they've gone and done all the therapy. They've done all the stuff, and they know
Yeah.
what they're doing. And they're going to give you a big kiss, or maybe just a
Do you
little.
get a choice of therapists?
So what would you think about that?
Well, that's what I was asking you to rewind. Is it for couples or is it just for individual people?
It's just for individual people. I'm guessing. I don't know. Why? What are you thinking?
Well, because it
You want to
would be.
invite John over?
Yeah, well, imagine if John and Di came over and it was like, I don't mean another couple. I just mean you as a couple went to the sexual therapist and said, oh, because remember Meet the Fockers? She was a sexual therapist, wasn't she?
Yeah, but
Barbra
that was different.
Streisand.
That was different. She was teaching couples how to. Well, yeah, you've got a point,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, you've got a point. I don't know. I just read it. The research that I did, they was like just on their own. And they were going in because they had intimacy issues and they just had they just wanted to know what to do in the relationship, how it was all going to work out.
I see what you mean. Yeah, well, I can understand it if you've never had a sexual relationship with someone or even just a relationship. I mean, you just, like you say, you go in for a relationship, you want to start a relationship, then maybe, yes, you need some training.
What would you do, Bri, if you met a woman, right? And you're just having a kiss and you're just like rubbing you all over and then went, oh, that's... and they went, oh, that's what my surrogate therapist told me to do.
I've never heard of it I didn't.
I know, well, I haven't heard of all
because,
these things.
you tend to think, you've got to go to the brothel or see a prostitute
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
but it's not, is it? Because it's a sexual therapist. So, what a job.
Oh, would you like that job?
Not particularly, no, because you don't know who's going to turn up, do you? It's just like,
If I was you, I'd just go home, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, mate. No, not really. What, me? Yeah.
Right, number 4, therapy, alternative therapy. And I really like this and I can see it. But what I'm going to do is just read the testimonial from the guy who started this therapy clinic and tell you why he started it, right? Okay, so the therapy is Tickle therapy. I know.
Well, you
think
wouldn't be very
about
good,
that,
would you?
Bri. No, it's so here's the thing.
Yeah.
So what do you think when I say tickle therapy?
Well, obviously, I don't think it's good a feather out and rubbing your toes, is it?
It is actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not the therapy that you're thinking. It's not tickling
proper,
that you're
not
thinking.
like when you grab hold of someone's leg and
Yeah.
like, you know, if
Like,
I do
give
that
them
to
a
Tess
really,
or
like-
Sonny,
yeah.
it's even at their age at 20, it's just like, yeah.
So apparently,
what dads do.
tickle therapy just, you know, like when you were tickled with a kid, tickled when you were a kid, and it just releases all that laughter
Yeah.
and all that stress just goes. And yeah, so it makes sense to think, I know, let's start a tickle therapy class, like, you know. And apparently this is all the rage now. People are paying to go and be tickled. Yeah. But here's the thing, it's not like digging out, like, you know, like how I tickle you and I like try as hard as I can to hurt you and just like, and just like laugh, Brian, laugh.
Please laugh. That's
It's not like that.
Yeah,
It's,
like
it's
you used
more
to do with
soft.
but you used to get the kids and literally pin them down
Oh,
and tickle them.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's literally on the bed you would pin them down.
I did.
and
I
then-
used to. Yeah, I
and
did
they couldn't
when they were
move,
kids.
and they would scream.
And I did. I went even one step further. They would just be like, "No, please," but loving it.
Yeah.
Like almost like begging you to not stop, but begging you to stop.
Yeah.
And I would always go one step further because
Make them cry.
I would prefer to be the tickler than the being tickled. And I used to get $20. I mean, how sad is this? I used to get $20 and I used to say to them, if you let me tickle you for 5 minutes without kicking me off, I mean, because they would they would go mad, like, you know, they'd just boot you, like buck you off.
Yeah, trying
like,
to get
know.
you off, yeah.
If you can stand it for 5 minutes, I'll give you $20. And by God, they did. I'll
Did
tell
they?
you, oh, yeah. They were like, do you want to play if they ever needed any money, they'd be like, do you want to play the $20 tickle game? No, so I can completely understand it. I can
I can understand
why they did that.
the tickling side of things. But you must think, I'm ticklish or I'm missing something.
Oh, God, here we go.
Well, that's what I mean. So
Why are
Do
you
you
saying
like-
about all these therapies?
Do you
they
like
must
to-
be missing something.
well, I just think people have got more money than sense. It's
you?
just like, do you know what? Who in the right mind would actually look up and think, oh, do you know what? I haven't been tickled for years. I'll look up a tickle therapy.
Okay,
Best.
listen.
Go
So
on.
I'm not going to say the website, but there's a website in
Tickleitt.com.
in England in England that offer this tickle therapy, and the founder, when you go to the website, has said why he started this tickle clinic,
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah.
And he says, I am part of the population who enjoys a good, relaxing foot and back tickle. That's true, isn't it? I have many family members who also enjoy pampering. My mother, for example, likes her feet and legs being tickled with a knitting needle,
Oh, yeah.
in which I used to earn a fair amount of pocket money from this. So he's been, you know, like, I bet his mum would say, oh, go on,
You
like,
tickle
I'll
my-
give you,
yeah,
I'll give you
yeah,
10p if you tickle me. My sister's the same. She always says to her daughter, oh, just play with my hair, like tickle my head. Anyway, he says, and I was a bit, anyway, I'm not going to pass comment, but he says, people will pay anything. Will pay anything that gives them pleasure. How's he written it? It says, people will pay for anything that gives them pleasure.
Right. Yeah.
Self-confidence, excitement, or a better look, in which tickling covers them all. Which is true, really. I don't know how it gives you a better look, but it gives you pleasure and it gives you self-confidence.
Yeah. I can understand it to a degree, I suppose, because it's a bit like having a massage, but without the, you know, the painful massage sometimes. You know, I don't know why when a masseur has to be painful, it's just like, well, don't bother. But I suppose that's a different type of massage, isn't it?
And he goes on to say, this is why I started the tickle therapy class, for people to overcome worries without trying too hard and to feel lighter. He says, I've been employed as a quality controller, a window cleaner, a hygiene operative, a warehouse supervisor, and a self-employed gardener. They all gave him many rewards in lots of their own ways, but being a tickle therapist, he says, I know you're going to say something, being a tickle therapist and bringing a smile to people's faces is one of the best rewards I can ever receive. And he has got a very, very popular tickle therapist class in England.
I'd like to see his toolkit.
Why? What are you saying?
Can you imagine when you open up his toolkit and it's like, okay, what's it going to be? Is it going to be the feather or is it going to be the knitting needle, mate?
Do you know what I thought? And I shouldn't say this, but do you know what I thought when he said he used to be a window cleaner?
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder if he ever used to go there, clean people's windows. Because you know when they have the window cleaner around and you just try and get on with you just try and, whenever you've got the window cleaner come round, why is it you try and act all normal? Like, you don't just go and do like slob around on the couch. You suddenly try and make yourself look busy. Like, whenever I used to have the window cleaner coming round, I'd always like go in the kitchen and like clean up, make him look as if think that I was a really, really good person.
And tidy and clean.
Yeah, like look at me.
Yeah.
I'm always, I'm just doing stuff. I'm not just slobbing here while you're cleaning my windows. I just thought, I wonder if when he was cleaning windows, he used to just think, oh, should I just ask that woman if she needs a little tickle?
Probably did. Confessions of a window cleaner.
Look at her. She looks a bit miserable, doesn't she? I bet she
good tickling with my knitting needle.
A good tickle with my window cleaning brush would do
Yeah,
her
there
some
you go.
good.
Me squeegee.
Come here, let me just rub this up and down your thighs. So yeah, that was all the alternative therapy.
What would be your favourite one out of those then?
Well, my favourite one is the water flotation.
Yeah.
Absolutely, without a doubt. But out of all of those ones, well, I wouldn't go for the sexual thing because I know how to kiss.
Yeah.
You, so that's fine. I wouldn't go for the. I haven't got arthritis, but if I did, I might go for the sting thing.
Right.
And I've got to say, I wouldn't go for the tickle.
Why?
Well, because I'd always think that he was going to do something else.
What if he didn't laugh? What else would he tickle?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
I'm like, like have a little
It's
tickle.
not doing it for me, mate. Yeah, your feather's not quite the right feather.
No, that's just, we're horrible. We're horrible.
Not. It's
we
not.
are. This is people's living.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I think when you imagine tickling, but maybe I'm not going to do it over it again, but maybe it's just more like you say, the touch, isn't it, of the knitting needle or something like that. It's a bit like when you put someone use one of those back massages on you, not the vibrating ones, just like a little piece of wood with some balls on it. You tend to think, oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Do you know what though, Brian? Do you know why I don't think I'd go for it? Exactly like you said. For one, what if you didn't laugh?
Yeah.
And two, what if you just weren't enjoying it? Sometimes when the kids used to say, oh, can I tickle your back or whatever? And it'd be irritating.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to say, get off.
Yeah.
Because
it's a bit like when
you're supposed to be nice.
You ask someone to scratch your back and they're scratching not in quite the right place.
I know.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there he is, window cleaner, he's got his squeegee next to him. And he's like, does that feel nice?
Probably
And
nice.
you just be thinking, no, not really.
Yeah.
But then you couldn't say, well, do something else because all you're there to do is tickle me. So there isn't any other thing, is there, Brian?
No, not really.
So...
How far do we go with the tickle?
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
How about here? Does that feel better?
A little bit higher. Not that high.
So I turn the question round to you. Would you go to any of them?
Of all of those, probably the tickle. And I'd do the flotation, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just, I like to be on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
Well, just when I do certain things, I just like to be on my own.
Oh, okay. What certain things?
Going to the toilet and stuff like that. No, you know what I mean. It's just certain things, it's nice to have a bit of space, isn't it, like you say? I think that, because that's what you said on your birthday, didn't you? It's like, are you sure you want to be, me not to be with you for 2.5 hours on my birthday?
Who said that?
You said it to me.
I said what?
I'm not going to be with you for 2.5 hours.
That's because I felt guilty, but that's not to mean I didn't want to do it.
No, I know. Well, you wouldn't have gone if you didn't want to do it, would you? But it's just that type of thing. I like to do things on my own sometimes. Nice.
Okay, so any of the others, would you have? So you just go for the tickle?
No, the beast thing, you can, no.
No?
It's not. If there was anything in the venom, then you can have a little injection without the nasty side effects.
So now coming to the part where I said we were going to read some reviews from last week. So last week we talked about going to fancy places, paying a bucket load of money, thinking you were going to, the more you pay, the better it's going to be.
As you do.
And then being absolutely just, disillusioned and just annoyed that you'd paid all this money. And we said, let us know if you have come across anything like that. So we had a bunch of replies, mostly on YouTube. So if you're listening on YouTube, thank you so much. But Laura B messaged us and she said, my best friend and I took a trip to Sicily and we splashed out on a fancy hotel for the last night of our trip. It was way more expensive than the budget Airbnbs we'd been staying in, so we had high hopes for the fancy hotel.
Build your expectations up, don't you?
You do, yeah. Because it's going to be better than an Airbnb, you think, because you're paying more.
Definitely more money. Obviously better.
She says, but we were so underwhelmed. Yes, there was a beautiful view from the balcony, but the room wasn't much nicer than a travel lodge.
Oh, really?
And
Travelodge is pretty naff if you don't know what one is.
Yeah, it's like a naff, like budget hotel in the UK, isn't it? We were right next to the elevator, so all she could hear all night was noise from the elevator coming up. That would just annoy the hell out of me.
Yeah, it would.
There's nothing worse, is there?
No, never. Why is it you go to a hotel, they give you a room by the elevator?
She said the shower was so badly designed it flooded the whole bathroom. That's not good.
Yeah, probably blocked.
And then she said when we sat down on the lunch terrace, bearing in mind this is Sicily, so you'd be there, wouldn't you, thinking, she said, hoping for a proper Italian lunch. We were told that the snack bar might be more suitable for us.
Is Laura B English or American?
I think Laura B, if I've got this right, I think Laura B is our English girl who's Italian. You know, our lovely Laura in our community. So I'm hoping it's her, but if it isn't, then we've got another Laura B. But she said she went down there and they said, why do you go to the snack bar? She just thinks because she was dressed a bit scruffy.
Oh, right.
They said, maybe you want to get down to the snack bar, Laura.
Yeah, go and get some chips.
Yeah. How rude is that?
That is very rude, isn't it?
Anyway, she said, luckily we were able to giggle our way through the whole experience, but when they were given the bill at the end of it, she nearly dropped through the floor because it was so expensive.
Really?
And that's annoying, isn't it, Bri?
It is, yeah, and especially if, like...
So she's in Sicily, she's got a travel lodge room, she's next to the flipping lift going up and down, and not only that, she's told when she goes down for a nice Italian meal on the terrace...
You're not dressed right.
Yeah, shift off to the snack bar.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Laura, that you had to go through that.
I wouldn't have paid the bill.
Well, you would. That's the thing, wouldn't you? You would pay the bill.
But everyone's got a right to complain and just go, I'd like some money off because the elevator was noisy all night. Kept me up. I haven't slept a wink. And, I didn't bring any nice clothes. Sorry. You didn't say that on the description.
Do you know what? Once we went to Greece on holiday, when Sonny was 1, he was 1 and we left him with my mum on holiday and we went to Greece, didn't we? Went to Paros, actually, because we absolutely love Paros, the island of Paros. And that was the same. We'd booked this really nice hotel, hadn't we?
Yes.
And we got there in the terrace. This is just not like us at all. Normally we don't do this. But I think because we just had a baby and we wanted some relaxation and it was like, the more we pay, the more you stay kind of thing, you know? Yeah. And we got to this hotel and we drove up in the taxi and you could just see the terrace just flooding out onto the Aegean Sea, the pebbly beach, all the tables outside on the beach. It was just like, oh, this is going to be bliss. We walk into the hotel, it's all fans and all,
very Greek, wasn't it?
Very
Gorgeous.
Greek floors. Anyway, he shows us to the room, the guy, doesn't he, Brian? And we get there and it's literally the window, you stood and you were on the main road.
Yeah, it was like a bay window on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all you could hear was...
Yeah, the first scooter was like, oh, it's nice, you're in Greece. And then it was just like, oh.
And we stayed that night. And we said, oh, sod this. No, I'm sorry. We were trying to be a little like relaxed at first, weren't we? We were like, oh, no, it's fine. It's so Greek. Oh, listen. Oh, doesn't the mopeds just remind you of when we were young? Yeah. And then it was just like...
That room didn't even have air conditioning.
No, I know.
It didn't, did it?
I reckon they just thought, oh, these two are
young
idiots.
Couple will be all right. They will be up all night anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
they'll be doing their sex therapist session, so they won't worry about the road.
He's got a feather.
Anyway, the next day we just thought, I think we left it too nice, and then we just thought, no, sod this, we're going to go and complain, didn't we, Brian?
Yeah.
We got him up.
I had to go and complain.
Yeah, Brian gets the owner and tell them what he said. This is so typically Greek.
Very, very Greek. He just looked at me and I was just saying, listen, we haven't slept for 2 nights. We'd like to move to the other side of the hotel, the seaside side of the hotel, where, let you show all your pictures. And then suddenly, and he just went...
Oh, because you said there was a road.
The road was so noisy with all the motorbikes. The 3 o'clock in the morning, that sort of noise, wasn't it? Because it was right on the junction. Anyway, he just turned around and went, without the road, there would be no hotel. What?
It's got a good point. He had a good point though, didn't he?
Yeah, without the road, there would be no hotel.
Bryce said he was just like really emphasising the road, and it's like
as if like it's part of the life.
Yeah, you said it's a beautiful hotel, and we love it. And we love what you're doing. It's a lovely beach, but it's just the road. And no, you said he just went like this, and he thought and he pondered, and he went, but without the road, there would be no hotel. Yeah. And you said that you just stood there, and you almost like.
I don't really care.
You know, it's like you've got a point.
I know.
You know?
But it was just like, I don't need your Greek philosophy right this moment in time because I'm tired, mate.
Anyway, he moved us. He
did
moved us, and off
He
we
moved
went
us
to another
literally
room.
the next day, and we had a nice room after that.
Yes, we did. And
With a shower that overflowed.
And I just wanted to also share this, the Sheraton Hotel in Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, yeah.
We had NGO Games on YouTube leaving a comment saying that they went to Sheraton Hotel in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
That apparently this hotel has got one of those rooftop restaurants right at the top.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you'd be thinking, wouldn't you? Because Sheraton's posh.
What it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of up there, isn't it? And you know, it's not
And
quite
this
the Ritz, but it's, you know.
The poor person thought, right, okay, I'm going to I'm going to splash out on this lovely hotel rooftop. I bet the views were spectacular.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, we sat over there for an hour waiting for our meals. And because the chef, who was white and clearly French, well, that's not good. That's not good, is it, in Vietnam?
Yeah.
You want a Vietnamese chef to be cooking your Vietnamese food, really, don't you, Brian?
Well, it depends if you go to a French restaurant.
No, it's a Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh, is it?
Yes. He goes, the chef was so busy talking to other people and ignored this person. Anyway, when the meals finally arrived, they were the worst, most boring, basic dishes I have ever come across, this person says. My meal had a very fancy name on the menu. It was like labelled as being really fancy, probably something like, you know,
vermicelli,
chicken chocolate. Chicken chocolate.
Okay.
You'd be
like
thinking.
as if it's,
Anyway, turns up a slab of boiled chicken breast. No sauce, no anything, just dry chicken breast. No salad, no veg, nothing.
Right.
Chicken breast on a plate, boiled piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Guess how much he paid?
I don't know. $150?
$200 for that.
No.
$200.
Obscene, isn't it?
He said, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I don't know any games if that. We will never go to the Sheraton Hotel again. And on a positive note, all the regular Vietnamese restaurants we went to that were much cheaper and they serve much better food. Isn't that always the way?
But that is the way, because we went through a stage, didn't we, in London, where we would try and go to flash restaurants, and we just gave up in the end, didn't we? You're best just going to the, I don't know.
Just the local places.
Yeah, because the thing is, what we figured it out in the end is that we used to get timeouts before the internet, really, wasn't it? And it was the same review with a different name for the restaurant. If that makes sense, as in they changed the name of the restaurant about 3 times, and we went to the same one twice.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We got outside. Well, we didn't go to it the second time. We got out, and it's like, oh my god, it's the same flipping one in the hotel.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah, I do actually. I do remember.
We got out of the taxi and just said, oh, let's just stay here. As in, let's go somewhere else.
So, thank you so much for sharing that, because again, it's that thing of like, the more money we spend, the better it's going to be. Like, it's the Sheraton, it's a rooftop, it's going to be, he's going to be a really great chef. And you turn up and thinking, a slab of chicken. And do you know what? We went to a restaurant once in Bristol. I'll never forget it, when we lived in England. And on the menu, it said dressed crab.
Cornish crab.
Dressed crab, right? No word of a lie. We'd never had crab at a restaurant.
No.
And the name, they'd sold it to us by Cornish, and it was just like, oh yeah, crab, we'll order some nice chilled wine and we'll have the crab. No word of a lie. Yeah. What turned up on that plate, Bri?
It was just a whole crab that wasn't dressed.
No.
It was just put on the plate.
It was.
And there was a nutcracker, and that was it. And it was just like, it wasn't even cut open.
It was just diabolical, wasn't it?
You've got things called the lady's fingers, which are not supposed to be eaten in crab, and it was inside. It was still in there. So how was that dressed crab? I mean, they're quite not poisonous, but don't make you feel too good, apparently.
And it was freezing cold. You could tell they'd just lifted it out of the fridge and put it straight onto the plate. And there was nothing else. Again, like this person said, no salad, no veg, nothing, no mayonnaise, no dressing, no parsley,
It was
nothing.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? It's like the chef wasn't even there, and just, I don't know.
Did we complain?
I think we did.
I
think we left after that, and we didn't want a main course after that.
Yeah, I bet we didn't complain.
We probably did, because we were quite...
we didn't. I would have remembered if we'd complained.
We used to be really into our food back then.
Yeah, I know, but we were also really scared of complaining, like we still are now. Yeah. And we didn't. I think we just sat there with like this with a nutcracker on the crack in the shell.
Bits flying everywhere.
So yeah, there we go. There's
so it just goes
therapy.
to show, Les, you don't, sometimes you just don't get what you pay for, do you?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder how much the tickle therapy is.
I did know how much the
you
tickle
did?
therapy was. Yeah, the tickle therapy. Yeah. So the bee therapy costs $250 a shot.
Sure it does.
Yep. And the tickle therapy costs £35, which is 60,
For 6
70
days.
use. Yeah, £35 for 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not very good. Not a very good business venture, that is it?
It's not really, is it?
You can only tickle one
£35.
person
yeah, but
at a
I think
time.
it's a class, isn't it? So maybe there's like 10 in the class. They're all ticking each other's.
No,
Athlete's
he's the
fun.
tickle therapist.
Oh, he is the tickle therapist. Oh, right.
But what he might do is he might get loads of people in one therapy class at a time and then just run round them all with his feather like this.
But he's got clean windows in there as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, thank you so much for joining us. It goes so quick, this hour that we do with you when we spend time.
Well, it's 50 minutes or so, isn't it?
And we just wanted to ask a big favour of you. Before we leave this week and before we say goodbye, we wanted to ask a big favour and ask that if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, that you go ahead and subscribe to us because apparently...
Or follow us, whatever it is.
Yeah, follow us or subscribe to the show because apparently something happened with Apple and a load of people lost their subscriptions or, they didn't.
You don't get notified anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just would love you to go and subscribe to us. And also, if it's not too much to ask, if you listen to this show and you enjoy being with us and you get something out of the show, could you please be kind enough to leave us a review on wherever you're listening, whether that's Apple or Spotify or Stitcher or wherever you're listening? Could you just leave a review? That would be absolutely wonderful. Would love you forever. Because how it works is the more reviews you have and the more ratings you have, Apple will show that podcast to more people.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and you just, it's just so hard. Just sharing is the biggest thing. Just if you got even just one episode, you want to share it with someone, just ask them to follow it or whatever it is. But just share an episode with someone else.
Yeah, that would be really, really wonderful. And if you're watching or listening on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. And again, share the episode if you know someone who would just like a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of light-hearted conversation, some inspiration from a wonderfully funny woman and her prudish husband and her equally wonderful husband. Then just follow the show, subscribe to the channel and just share the episode with your friend. That's what we'd like to ask you to do this week. So in saying that, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thanks for just reaching out and sending comments. It's absolutely fantastic just being able to read them out on the show. So
it only takes 30 seconds to go down there and hit the like button or whatever it is, or the subscribe or follow and stuff like that. Just go to our show, just scroll down, you'll see it there.
Thank you so much in advance. Thank you for being you. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, and I will speak to you soon.
Yes, so kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true. And like Liz said, we'll see you on the next one.
Okay.
Go steady. See you now.
Bye.
Hello.
The actual person you've just met, and obviously Bernard, you said he had a nice body because he was...
I didn't.
He did yoga.
No, that's not him.
Maybe you were just thinking of Bernard at the time and just thought, I can't think of...
Can you just be serious, please? Because
I
I'm
am.
not trying to make a joke of this.
But I'm not making a joke. I'm just saying all these things that are triggering stuff in your head, and then someone says, snaps you out of reality and goes, what's her name? You go, I don't know.
Well, for one, let me just be clear here.
Yes.
I wasn't standing looking at Bernard's body because Bernard was